Let's talk about Barry Morphew's F-350 truck 14 miles away from where Suzanne was found. Hallelujah, after more than 3 years of waiting for justice, Suzanne Morphew's remains have been found. Her bones have surfaced like a literal cry from heaven, and she's already leaving clues and hints that may point to her perpetrator just by virtue of where she was found. Imagine everything else her body will tell. But who put Suzanne in the so-called boneyard in Colorado? Ironically, now that we know the exact location of 49-year-old Suzanne Morphew, where she was buried, Barry Morphew's defense team may have unwittingly provided us the biggest clue that places his 2013 F-350 Super Duty truck only 14 miles away from that boneyard. 14 miles may end up being very instrumental in this case, but not the 14 miles that Barry's lawyer, Iris Eaton, argued about in the 185-page document filed on May 2nd, 2023, where Barry sued a boatload of people for $15 million, and I think that might have been the straw that broke the mountain lion's back in God's eyes. He's suing CBI agents, Chaffee County authorities, FBI agents, John and Jane Does 1 through 10, and other unknown agents and employees under a section titled False Statements and Material Omission of Exculpatory Evidence about the mileage reading on Barry's truck on May 10th, 2020. Iris argued that the arrest affidavit showed there was a discrepancy in Barry's mileage on May 10th, with the mileage from Broomfield being 183 miles and a return trip of only 167 miles, a discrepancy of 14 miles. Iris claimed that instead of Barry missing these 14 miles because he was off somewhere, burying Suzanne's body or getting rid of evidence of a crime, before he left for that set-in job in Broomfield on Mother's Day 2020, and referencing the telematics in the Burlow report reflecting that missing miles. The Burlow report says 18 miles, but Iris says it's 14 miles. However, it's a big, different 14-mile journey that may end up telling the truth about Barry's whereabouts, and the defense team might have ended up kicking themselves in the foot with this Burlow report, making it public, which actually places Barry's truck 14 miles away from where Suzanne was found in Moffett. We'll talk about that, but let's go back to the beginning. Mother's Day 2020, take a little walk down memory lane to learn about how the public ire shifted against Barry Morphew, a lot of us giving him the side eye, since that first week that Suzanne was reported missing. Now, the immediate narrative began with Barry when he asked his neighbor to look for Suzanne's bike in the garage. The fact that it was missing, according to Barry, means that Suzanne must have gone on some Mother's Day bike ride, but investigators don't believe Suzanne ever took a bike ride. They think the bike that was found was staged near their Puma Path home.
Turned on the 225 and I see a bicycle off in the ravine.
I copy, and you just turned on to 325?
225.
Copy, 225 minutes.
Suzanne! Suzanne?
But that bike ride narrative has stuck until this day. The bike riding narrative was also heavily promoted by the Find Suzanne Morphew Facebook page, which was created and run by family members. Last seen in this helmet, the alternate facts claimed on posters of missing Suzanne. Who saw Suzanne in that bike helmet? Missing Sunday was another alternate fact heavily promoted by that page. However, Barry is the only person who claims to have a last proof of life Sunday morning, Mother's Day. Missing since Sunday in Chaffee County. That's what the claims read on that Find Suzanne Facebook page. It focuses on the assumption that Suzanne was missing in Chaffee County on Sunday, not in Moffett, Seawatch, where she was ultimately found. No questions asked, read the narrative on the poster by May 14th, 2020. It would be a refrain that Barry would repeat, mimicking his nephew, Trevor Noel. Now, it was really odd. Trevor was actually the first person to start speaking out to the press, at least audibly, that first week Suzanne was reported missing and not Barry.
We are on a mission to find Suzanne. We're searching everywhere, non-stop, for any clues that will lead us to her. Please help us get the word out by sharing this post, remembering her face, and being vigilant and aware. And please, if you see or hear anything, call the tip line immediately, 719-312-7530. Even the smallest tip could be the one that gets us closer. All who know Suzanne know her as the most beautiful person inside and out. She's selfless, caring, kind, and loving. Family and friends are tired and hurting, but we're strong and will not give up looking until she's found. Please help us keep Suzanne's photo out there. The more people who see, the better. Thanks for your support from the whole Morphew family. Again, the FBI tip line, 719-312-7530.
Initially, Barry put out a $100,000 reward for his wife's safe return, no questions asked, according to Fox 31. But he declined to even make a public plea when the local news asked him, saying simply it was too soon. That's according to a May 14th, 2020 Daily Mail article. And I do remember reading those words, too soon, from a local Colorado news report attributed to Barry. And it was that too soon, those two words, to plead publicly for the wife of many decades that he loved. It made my hinky meter start going like this and dancing. When is it ever too soon to start pleading to the public for your missing wife, the love of your life, to return? By May 17th, 2020, after Suzanne was reported missing 1 week, I was stunned watching Barry's 26-second plea video that was published to that same Find Suzanne Morphew Facebook page. It wasn't with the sheriff or anything like that. Is that Barry? I asked myself. After all, I'd only seen photos of him and I had never seen a video of him speaking at that point. I must have watched that video about 100 times over the past years, analyzing every odd statement, his head shaking, the pleasant sound of the water in the background running behind him, the way Barry emulated his nephew's no questions asked, and even the way he started off the video with, "Oh, Suzanne."
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you, and I want you back so bad.
From a bike ride.
There were no actual targeted searches today. However, investigators have a hold on their home, not letting the family go in or out since it is still an open investigation.
Fox 21's Lauren Sharp spoke with a family member to learn more about Suzanne. I spoke with the uncle of Suzanne's husband, who tells me this past week for the family can be summed up with one word: terrifying. Bob Morphew says he hasn't seen the couple since they moved to Colorado, but he believes his nephew Barry had absolutely nothing to do with Suzanne's disappearance.
She's the sweetest, one of the sweetest people you would ever want to meet.
Bob Morphew describes Suzanne as a loving mother, wife, a former teacher, and a kind person.
She's the kind of person that everybody loved.
Bob is Barry's uncle, living in Indiana. He feels helpless and wants his family to have answers as to what happened to Suzanne.
I love those kids, and what I want is for them to be back together.
A plea from Suzanne's husband, Barry, was shared online exactly a week after she disappeared.
If anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked.
Uncle Bob says Barry is very sincere in the video.
They were a loving couple. And I've never seen any kind of unhappiness with each other produced by either one of them.
So his message to those pointing the finger at Barry.
I think they can bury that kind of thought.
The Morphews say they desperately want Suzanne to safely return home.
We're all terrified about this, and no place to find any rest. But like I said, everybody loves Suzanne and Barry. And we know what they're going through, and it's hard on our hearts too, because we don't know.
There have been more than 150 tips called in. The family continues to encourage people to share Suzanne's photo and information. It can be found on our website.
As early as May 23, 2020, though, when investigators were digging and sifting through a location where Barry had worked Mother's Day weekend closer to Salida, a reporter named Greg Nito with Fox 31 was caught on a hot mic moment, stating, "Don't shoot the messenger, but they're leaning toward a homicide."
I got 40 from the truck. Just for a while, it was just back. Just the messenger, but he said as soon as he came, he wanted to homicide.
Therefore, we knew as early as that date, pretty early on, that Suzanne wasn't the victim of some cycling mishap or some wild mountain lion.
This morning, there is still no answer in the search for a woman missing in Chaffee County. Now the reward for information that leads to finding Suzanne Morphew has increased to $200,000. She's a mom and a wife who went biking Sunday. She's not been seen since. This is very worrisome to her family. This morning, we're speaking with her nephew, Trevor Knoll. He joins us by phone this morning. Trevor, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Alan.
I'm sure there are no good mornings right now, in a sense. I want to start by telling people to make sure that they look at the photos we're going to be showing here so that you have an image of her fresh in your mind. Her husband has posted a reward of $100,000. That's now up to $200,000. So tell us about that reward and what you've been doing too, Trevor.
Sure. The reward of $100,000 put up by the husband has been matched by a family friend, so now we're offering $200,000 for Suzanne's safe return. No questions asked, just bring her back to us. We're focusing all of our efforts on scouring the mountains, scouring towns, all over the county and beyond. We just implore anyone in Chaffee County or the greater Colorado community and beyond to please visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/find Suzanne Morphew. There's a link to the GoFundMe page there. The tip line is there. We're consolidating all of the information that we have on this page, and we just want to use it as a means to support the family and to bring Suzanne back to us safely.
And I think all of Colorado needs to be concerned about this. I mean, she went biking on Sunday. They're in the mountains about 20 miles west of Salida, Trevor, and then there was nothing from her. Tell us what you do know.
Alan, I'm willing to confirm that the bike was found on Sunday evening. The bike was found on Sunday evening, the night that she disappeared. And for more information on the bike or its condition, I would encourage you and everyone else to contact the Chaffee County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, it has to be disconcerting to know the bike is found. The sheriff has said he does not believe that this was an animal. And so all of Coloradans really ought to be aware that there is a potential then, Trevor, that she might be somewhere well out of the county for all we know, which is why we need to make sure that we're aware of the situation. I mean, what your family has been going through has to be enormously difficult. And tell us how you're doing.
It's hard, and we're working hard physically and emotionally. Hiking the mountains and also worrying about our beloved aunt and family member. We want her back, and we're doing whatever we can to do it. It's tough, but we just want the support of Colorado, and people all over the country and all over the world are helping and supporting by sharing the Facebook page, facebook.com/find Suzanne Morphew. And that's the best we can do right now. Our efforts right now are focused here regionally and locally, but we understand the need and the importance of getting this out nationally, and the best way to do that is digitally. So please help us by sharing this Facebook page and the GoFundMe. And the tip line, again, I'm going to say it on the air here live, Alan. It's 719-312-7530. If you know anything or suspect anything or have any tips about Suzanne's location, please call the sheriff's office, call the tip line. Please help us bring Suzanne back.
Yeah, those tips are going to be crucial. I mean, they have searched on the ground, in the air, they've searched in the water. Nothing in that area where that bike was found. And so, Trevor, we wish you the best, and we certainly hope that somebody has seen something that might help in this case. And thank you very much for taking the time. The best to all of you.
Thank you very much for your help today.
All right.
By June 1st, 2020, God led a man named Tyson Draper over to Puma Path to surreptitiously capture Barry on hidden video, giving all kinds of excuses of what may have happened to Suzanne. And Tyson would eloquently say recently that he was impressed to look for Suzanne whilst she was lost and he was lost in a way too.
It's Tyson Draper. I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
So
What happened?
okay.
Yeah, you mind putting that in your pocket?
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. No.
You from?
I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
So
What happened?
okay.
Yeah, you mind putting that in your pocket?
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. No, it's not on, bro. It's not on.
We've had a lot of media.
Yeah.
Bother us. And obviously this is very emotional.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Private from. But we've searched. It's never going to hurt to retrace searches. But we've searched a 200-mile radius.
What? Really?
All of the mountains have been covered so far. But obviously, we're going to miss things.
Right.
So let me show you what happened. And I do have a reward.
There is a reward?
$210,000 reward. The bike was found at the bottom of the hill by that tree where the peak is.
Oh, really?
The first night there was a mountain lion. The officer seen it walk by the car, so we thought maybe she got attacked by a lion. We thought maybe she wrecked coming down this hill, a car coming around the corner fast, or maybe was disoriented and got in the river. We've covered all of this really good, this triangle, with search and rescue. So we're pretty comfortable that she's not in this triangle between the RV park, your truck, this road, and then the next road. But what seems to have happened from the investigators, and they don't give much, and I've got private people working for me, is maybe she was abducted right here. And they found an article going west of hers. They won't tell us what it is. So they sent another team after they found the article that covered this hillside all the way down to the river pretty good. My concerns were this way and that way if it was the cat, because the cats, they drag their prey up the mountain and out of people's. We can't find sign for the cat, but we got rain like right away.
Yeah.
Could have washed away sign.
So they found her bike just right against that tree down there?
Well, no, it was on the ground. The wheel was facing, and the sheriff department, they screwed everything up. They shouldn't have touched it.
Oh,
So
really?
Left it. It's evidence. They pulled it up, and then the sheriff we had cars over here. Well, the sheriff let everybody drive through here, covering all, or messing up all the evidence. They were walking all over this area, which if somebody abducted her, they would have had foot tracks. They would have fingerprints on the bike.
And they let
10 other people touch the bike.
Oh, man.
I mean, we was really upset that first night. I was in Denver, so
oh, you were?
I didn't get here until 9 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
And my friend's an Army Ranger, and he knows this stuff better than anybody. He did 400 tours in Iraq, Afghanistan.
Oh, is that?
So what I would say, if you want to help, I would say this way is the least covered on the mountainside.
So you don't know where that article was, though? Was it by the road, or they won't even? They won't say, huh? Well, Barry, I'm glad you filled me in, man. I was. Oh, you had somebody behind you. I was hoping I'd run into you because I can't even imagine what you're going through. That's what I heard.
We're totally in love. We have 2 investigators. Closest family. It's just one of them things where, and you know, they have to investigate first.
Yeah. Well, get your name cleared, and then.
Well, and they,
you know,
they told me that it's cleared. I don't know if it's going to on me, if it was to me.
Yeah, well, they're going to, man. They're going to be, because I mean, you got to look at, especially in Colorado, there's been so many cases where like Patrick Frazee, Christopher Watts, you know, these guys get on there and they act like, you know, they didn't do anything, and so I mean, naturally people are going to be skeptical in the beginning, you know, but
you just came to help?
Yeah, I was in the Pagosa Springs area, and I've been kind of hearing about this, and so I thought I'd just come help, man. And what can I do for you, bro?
We've got a good group of friends and stuff. The best thing that you could do if you're a hiker and you're not outdoorsman, just get out there and cover some ground.
Okay.
Yeah, find something. If you find anything, don't touch it. Take a picture of it. Give it to the police. Put a pin there. Let them come, because if there's an article, they need to DNA it.
Absolutely.
And we have found men's clothing. We found a group of men's clothes up by the lake. Fooses that they DNA tested and been done.
So Fooses is up that way?
You go up to the right.
Yeah.
And that lake's up there, and then the Fooses Trail, you can drive all the way to the trailhead. And this is the Colorado Trail, where they cross 50, where they park up top.
Yeah.
And you can, I mean, that trail goes all the way to Denver.
Okay.
And we've covered, I had school friends come the first few days, so we had a bunch of guys that we covered that road with.
Up in there.
But the only thing, this is a tough one, and my friends aren't in shape like you. So getting up those sides of those hills and stuff is kind of tough.
Well, let me ask you a quick question, Barry. So you were in Denver, but how long before somebody noticed that she was gone? And
well, it was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day.
We had two daughters that were coming home from the trip, and I had that job in Denver that I wanted to get started on Sunday. Set it up for my workers. My workers would come in Sunday night. We were going to work Sunday night. They were going Monday, but being the owner, I wanted to get everything right up so that they didn't have to stand and wait on the Monday morning to get busy working.
Right.
So I told my wife, I said, listen, the girls are going to be home. They want to spend Mother's Day with you. Mind if I go this day? She said, that's fine. So the bikes, she's going to have a bike. And then the girls get home, they'll be together. So that's what we thought was going to happen. The girls were running late, so they texted me Happy Mother's Day. She didn't text back. So we went to, or they called my neighbors and said, listen, it's Mother's Day. I'm a little worried. And will you go check the house? So the neighbor went and checked the house. Saw that her car was there, but the bike was gone. She called me from Denver and said, hey, we're just a little worried. And I go, well, I am too. Why don't we just call the police? Just be safe, and I'll report on that.
Yeah, that totally was. Bro, I'm really sorry, man. I can't imagine what you're going through, but it sounds like you got a really good support system.
Yeah.
And do you want me to leave my number or anything? And in case you need me, I'll be here for the next. And then give me your number. Write it down because my phone's charging in the truck. But just Barry, give me.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Yeah, text me your number, and then if I find anything, I will. I'll let you know.
Go ahead.
T.Y. Ty.
I appreciate your
I know we're doing COVID and all that, but I can't imagine that. Are you grandma?
Yeah,
Barry's mom. Oh, Barry, I feel for you, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're genuine in what you're doing here, then I appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you're an undercover news person.
Oh no, no.
They're not coming to find you. They killed me.
Yeah. Oh, they will, Barry. They will, and probably the worst is yet to come. I hate to say that, but just ride the storm out, man, and the truth always comes out in the end, bro. So.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, good to meet you guys. Take care. Okay, well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I just had a long conversation with Barry Morphew. He told me the whole story, and I met his mom, and I hope this camera picked it up, but I got his whole story. He told me that the bike was discovered right over here. He walked me up this hill, and he made a little threat there at the end. I don't know if the camera picked it up or not, but he said, if I'm with the news media, he's gonna come after me. Wow. Stay tuned, everybody. This has gotten really creepy.
The fact that he captured that all-important footage would be very valuable to the FBI in the case. There was a presser with Chaffee County Sheriff John Speasy, a man who would end up giving few interviews about Suzanne's case over the years.
And it is a missing persons investigation. Being that it's a top priority with the Sheriff's Office, we've solicited the help of many local and law enforcement agencies, but we've also solicited and received the help of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they are here now and they're actively working with us on this investigation. We've spent countless hours searching for Suzanne, and I want to thank everybody that's been involved in the investigation, but I also want to thank the community and even our social media community. We have pictures that have been published, and the top priority in this is to find Suzanne. And so I want to thank everybody for the cooperation we've been getting, and we ask that you continue that support. We've started a tip line with the assistance of CBI, and I want to give you that tip line number right now because that's kind of our lifeline for this thing. And if anybody has any information, whether you think it's little or big, we encourage everybody to call that number and give us that information. And I'm going to give you that number right now. It is tip line number is 719-312-7530. I want to give you a little brief recap of what we've done since we received the call of Suzanne's disappearance on Sunday. We've in the area and in the general area, we've run foot searches using air support, canine support, swift water support, and we've also utilized countless hours of drone searches. We've used well over 200 personnel and over 2,000 man hours have gone into this search, but unfortunately we haven't found Suzanne yet, and as I stated before, that is our top priority. Yesterday afternoon, which is Thursday, in the area of County Road 225 and Highway 50, we did find items that we believe were personal items of Suzanne Morphew, and that launched a bigger search we had today, which included the full closure of U.S. Highway 50 on Monarch Pass. In that search, we used today well over 90 searchers that are well-trained individuals from both our local agencies as well as the FBI and CBI. We searched over 2.5 miles using grid patterns. Unfortunately, we found no other items in that area at this time. We're in the process right now of reevaluating where we are with the information we received. And I want to let everybody know that we are receiving information, and so we're constantly reevaluating that information, and based on that, it'll determine what our actions are tomorrow searching. However, I want to remind everybody that while we're doing this, the investigation continues. Okay, so as I said before, this is a top priority of ours, and we're working very hard on this. Once again, it's just so important to thank everybody for the outpouring assistance we've gotten. We've gotten a lot of requests from the community for volunteer searchers, and we really, really appreciate the assistance. However, in this type of an investigation and search, we're using trained personnel, and so we have to tell these people we're not accepting this help, but we do appreciate the offer, so I want everybody to know that. Once again, I want to remind everybody that the tip line is 719-312-7530, and we've published many pictures of Suzanne, so we encourage everybody to take a look at that, and if they have information, call us.
Right now, I guess we'll open it up for questions. If you could raise your hands for an all starting, that would be great. We'll start.
Can you say what the items were that you found? Well, the question was if I can repeat what the items were found. Just so everybody knows, I can't offer any information on any clues or anything we found during this investigation. It is an open investigation, and so we can't disclose that information at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys believe she's still alive?
The question is do we believe she's still alive? we're certainly hopeful she is. Obviously, as time goes by, it gives us concern, but we're searching as though she's alive, and we do believe she could still be alive. Yes, sir.
You gave the tip line. If the community members are trying to search for her, what can they look for? How can they reach out?
The question is how can the community help us in the search? As I stated before, the biggest thing that we are looking for is any information that anybody has. If they're in the area on Sunday the 10th, call the tip line. If they see somebody that they think resembles Suzanne, call the tip line. Anything they think is important. It's like we talk about in national security. If you see something you think is suspicious, call it, because you never know. And this is the same case. If you think it's important, call us. We're going to look into it. We have a lot of people working on this, and we're working on everything we can. And, we just appreciate any help we can get.
Now, was she an avid biker? Was this a normal route that she took that you guys were searching on? That she took every day, once a week, once a month?
Question is, she's an avid biker, and if we're searching normal routes. It's my understanding she did bike quite a bit, and we've searched that whole area. It doesn't mean that we're not going to keep searching, but as we expand our search, it's based on what we find and information we receive. So we're not ruling anything out, but we have to evaluate that information on a daily basis. Sir?
I know you said about the clues, but we've heard conflicting reports about whether the bicycle was found. Can you tell us if that was found?
Question is clues, and if we recovered the bike. Once again, I can't comment on any items we found or any part of the investigation.
You said earlier this week that it probably wasn't an animal that was involved. Are you still saying that?
Well, okay, if we're still looking at an animal could be involved. On any open investigation, obviously you don't rule out anything. We've not found anything that would indicate that. However, we're always evaluating. We've been in that area so much. We're always looking, obviously, and any clues we have, we're going to follow up on.
How many tips have you received?
I don't have that information. However, as far as specific, I have talked to our investigators. We've gotten a lot of tips, and it seems as though they're picking up as the word gets out. Now, I notice on our Facebook page alone, the sheriff's office, we'd reached close to 500,000 people. That's important. That's a lot, and we get those reaches by shares on Facebook. So I encourage everybody, if you get the information, push it out to other people, because that's how we get the information out.
Now, is the husband cooperating?
Yes, he's been cooperative to this point. We hope he continues to do so.
What is the investigation going to look like in terms of physically being out on the road? Are you going to close the highway again? How is that going to look?
The question is if we think we'll possibly close the highway again. We don't know yet. We're talking about that right now based on what we found today, what tomorrow looks like. We'll try to get that information out as soon as we can. However, based on certain aspects of our investigation, we have to evaluate everything and decide when the best time is to do that.
With the FBI and the CBI involved with this, is this treated as a criminal investigation?
It's still a missing persons investigation. However, they bring in a lot of assets that we don't have locally, and they're a great help. So that's the reason for bringing them in. So it continues to be a missing person investigation.
We'll do 2 more questions.
Yes, sir.
For a small town like this, how much does a missing person, impact the community?
It has a big impact in our community. We're small, pretty tight knit, and there's a lot of people that are concerned about this. But it's not just locally. I've seen a lot of concern nationwide. I mean, this hits a lot of different homes, and there's just been an outpouring of concern, and it's pretty impressive.
Can you talk about compare the size and area that you started off searching and what it has expanded to now?
The question is how big our search area has expanded. We started off, obviously, you start off semi-small when you get the information. Obviously expands as you maybe find things or as you receive information. We've expanded quite a bit. It's just to reiterate, we don't know where we'll be tomorrow. We're going to reevaluate where we are today, and we'll make decisions based on that.
Last question. Is suicide being considered at all?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is suicide being considered at all?
In any investigation, you look at all aspects, and that is part of the investigation, is you look at backgrounds. And so since we haven't found her, you don't rule out anything. However, we don't suspect it.
Where do you guys go from here?
Go ahead and finish that. That's a good one to finish.
Where do we go from here? we go. Honestly, we go. Tips are huge. We've got a big team of investigators from very different aspects of expertise that we're looking at everything we possibly can. We just keep going. Honestly, this is a very big. It's our top priority. We're pouring all our resources into this, as well as many other agencies, and I don't know how else to say it. We just go. But the community can give us a lot of help. I mean, that second set of eyes is huge, and we've seen that in so many different situations that we need help. We can always use help. So anything you do for us, we appreciate it. You bet.
Yep. Okay, so that wraps up our update today. As I stated before, the Sheriff's Office is going to continue to do a great job of pushing out those daily updates. If something warrants a larger scale, bringing us together, having a news conference, we'll certainly let you know. But for now, we'll just stay tuned to Facebook and keep those tips coming. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
By Friday, July 24th, 2020, Trevor Noel was giving one of his last interviews before going dark, claiming, "We are not stopping searching for Suzanne." But as more and more stories came out, people would start looking at Trevor with a side eye too.
Is new tonight. Deputies say they have gotten more than 100 tips for a missing Colorado woman. She's been missing for nearly a week now. Suzanne Morphew vanished in Chaffee County, roughly 2.5 hours west of Colorado Springs. 11 News reporter Robbie Reynolds is live at his home tonight. Robbie, where does the search stand now?
It says their search today was not as extensive as it was yesterday when they actually had to shut down part of Highway 50. Today they mainly focused on following up on those tips and also did some targeted searches in specific areas based on those tips as well. Take a look at this map right here. Investigators say that 49-year-old Suzanne Morphew went for a bike ride last Sunday in this area near County Road 225 and West Highway 50. She never returned. Morphew's nephew, Trevor Noel, is volunteering for the search. He says they found Morphew's bike, and deputies confirmed that they did also find a personal item belonging to Morphew, but they have not said what that item is. The FBI is assisting with the search.
We're not slowing down the search. We're not stopping. We are not even considering slowing down right now because of some momentum that we think that we have.
Now, family members are offering a $200,000 reward for any information that leads to finding Morphew, and anyone with information is urged to call the tip line at 719-312-7530. You can find that number on our website under the Find It tab. Live in Colorado Springs, Robbie Reynolds, KKTV 11 News.
Okay.
But about a year after the day that Suzanne was reported missing, Barry would be arrested on suspicion of her murder and serve time in jail waiting. Ultimately, the charges would be dropped without prejudice, though. So Chaffee County sent us all the body cam videos that would reveal even more problems in Barry and Suzanne's troubled marriage.
Are you?
Okay, so I'm the daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
And I'm here to...
Is this your truck?
That's my truck.
Somebody check it out. Never mind, I got something here. So you haven't seen the mom at all, have you?
Yep, so the two daughters are gone right now at the moment. The dad is in Denver for a job, and they text her because of Mother's Day, and they haven't heard. The text never went through, like it never delivered since this morning. And she's a big mountain biker. She normally takes her car, and her bike's normally in the back of that. It's gone.
Was this open when you came here?
The neighbor was here that opened it, and then she shut it, and she went back to her house. Her house is right over there.
Okay.
And then I came back and I opened it to come in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you looked in the house for
I
her?
have, yep.
All right. You looked through everything?
Yes.
You haven't found her?
No.
Okay. All right. What time did you get here?
6 o'clock, and then I went all the way up Frusis because she's road up there, and I just drove the main road, couldn't find her, and then there's a couple spots that I could check, like trails and stuff, but I wanted to come back here to just like check back in and stuff.
Okay. Has she ever gone up 225?
Colorado Trail right there?
Like, you know the big hill once you come off the highway?
Well, she hasn't, and I haven't checked there yet because that climb at the beginning is really hard.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be out of characteristic for her to do that, but I mean, someone needs to go there, I think.
Why would you say it is, like, on character?
Well, because it's kind of a crazy.
Okay.
It's kind of a crazy climb to get up there.
All
It's
right.
like not really rideable. You got to push your bike before you can start riding.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a driver's license on
Yeah.
you?
It's in my truck. And here's my dad pulling up.
That's your dad?
That's my dad right there.
Okay. S211.
Good.
Alright, so this is one of the daughter's boyfriend, and he's saying it'd be out of ordinary for her to travel up that way where they found the bike.
Wait, where did they find her bike?
The bike's leaning up against the sheriff's vehicle.
Yeah.
Do we know what she was wearing in reference to the jacket?
Do you know what she usually wears when she goes riding?
She has a couple different sets of clothing in terms of what she wears riding, so I'm not sure exactly what she put on today.
Okay, what are some of the outfits she wears?
Blue shorts, like turquoise blue shorts.
Can you pull her up on Instagram in one of her mountain
She has a
biking
blue
pictures?
helmet, which she always wears.
Okay.
Like turquoise blue helmet.
You guys have her bike though?
Yeah, we do.
But not her?
Not her.
Okay.
Where'd you find her bike?
Off of that road that I was asking you about.
Oh,
Where you said it was
in
uncharacteristic.
Chavano.
Just right out here on the road.
Right out there, okay.
Right where you found.
Where that road takes off up the...
That's her
She wear any jackets?
She probably would have had.
What kind of jackets does she wear?
I mean, a windbreaker.
A windbreaker?
I don't know what color.
I saw her.
I mean, we don't even know what time she left today.
Yeah.
But they have cameras.
They have cameras, but they've been out of commission for a while.
Hey, 11, can you get a list of the trails
So her
that
bike
she
was close to the
frequents?
road?
That way, if we get search and rescue out here, they can focus on those.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
That's good.
What were some of the other trails you said? She rides up Booses and...
Yep, she rides up Fuses. Normally when she takes her car, she goes down to, the, what's that road called? That's right down at the gate. Goes up to Norfolk Lake.
Okay, what about around here? Since she didn't take her car, she clearly left from
So
here.
she would have gone up Fuses, I assume, or to the Colorado
Across,
Trail.
you go straight across the
There's
highway,
that
the
trail.
Colorado Trail's right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
So you can go up that ridge there, and that gets on the Colorado.
And did you just let him know about it? Do you live in the area?
No, he dates her.
Right.
Yeah,
so he called you and let you
Well, we were talking to their daughters on a road trip. We were talking to them down in town.
Okay.
And then I said, yeah, why don't you run up there and see if you can't find her. And so then once he'd been gone a while, I drove up here.
I know this is a weird question, but do Barry and Suzanne get along pretty well?
You can answer honestly.
You know, I think they've had some problems.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past.
Like just normal
husband and wife type deal. I would
They
say.
like talk about separating or anything
They
like
have,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
And you know this through
Macy.
Yeah, I'm very
Macy?
close with her.
Yeah, it's
her daughter.
important that if
I know.
tell them
Yeah.
anything that you know like that.
Yeah, and he is in Denver for a work job. He's a landscaper, and he's got a big job in Denver. So that's where he's at right now.
Okay.
And Macy and the older sister Mallory are on a road trip. They're where are they? Where is it? Where's the bike?
Oh, it's right there.
Where was it?
It was like just right down here in this little embankment right here. So. Sorry, GPS dude. We got the husband on scene here with me.
Okay. I'm here with my daughter. She's at Barry's
Oh,
house.
okay. Alright, yeah, you can go down there.
Was it a crash?
I mean, the bike the way it was laying, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much damage to the bike. That's the thing.
Lion?
Yeah, it was just like
Was there no lion? Mountain lion?
I didn't see anything that would
I didn't see anything, and they're not letting us go over the side
because we're getting a track
dogs. We're bringing dogs.
just right down in here.
Do you know
Yeah.
where my husband and son are? They're
Yeah.
Probably went down to Boone,
Yeah,
down to the
so-
We're at my
house.
house.
Okay.
And Bear, I know this is tough right now. Do you mind if I just get your driver's license for our record stuff? Search and rescue's on their way. Hey Barry, and then I'll probably need your help to kind of tell me some of the trails that she frequents, so we can backtrack some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh man. And she's an avid mountain biker, right?
It's just started about 2 months. She's been hitting.
And just a confirmation, you left this morning at 5.
She was sound asleep.
Okay. And she told you she was gonna go bike riding?
She bikes every day, yeah.
Okay.
She said she's gonna bike when she gets up.
So she was asleep in the bed when you left. Did you say bye to her or anything?
No, she's sound asleep.
Okay.
Always leave her.
So the last time you probably actually saw her was this morning. That was it, right?
Yeah, I've been in Birdsville. I got a big job up there. I've been there all day. Working.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, you need to calm down.
No, it's all good, man. We're doing the best. We got a lot of people coming.
Did they,
yeah.
They look through the house?
Yeah, they got the house. So what we're doing is we're keeping people out of the house because if the dog comes, they want to get a scent from out of the house.
Yeah.
So they don't want to pollute that scent. So that way we can start trying. And I walked up this. Like I said, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Nothing looked like.
I wonder if she was hurt. If she could climb up the hill?
But that's the thing. When we came here, still was daylight, right? So if she was right here, somebody would have easily, you know what I mean? Just because it was like literally like right down. It was this. I mean, if we saw it coming in, somebody would have definitely seen it too, you know?
How'd it go?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. You want us to stage down at that residence or?
So hold on, let me give this to you and I'll get right with you.
Okay, no worries.
Hey, Barry, besides, I know the bike was here, but what are some of the paths that, or like the trails, like places?
She rides this road. She rides up to the top, and then she goes up to Fooses.
Okay,
if there's no snow, she'll go up high on Fooses. She's went down this one a couple times.
Down this one here too?
Yeah.
Okay. So double check Fooses over there too, because I think was it Miles? I think Miles. Yeah, I know. We just want to double check everything. So yeah.
Did anybody look for foot tracks on the road?
I haven't seen anything really, but
like people tracks. You're lying.
I didn't really notice, but I won't lie. I'm not like an expert tracker or something, you know. Yeah, so my partner is actually the one that saw and picked it up, but it was like the top of it was weird because it feels like the top of the bike was like up this way.
So maybe flipped.
Maybe, I don't know, man.
But just call this.
Go ahead.
What's the thing about 4 o'clock in the morning? Was that somebody on the phone?
5 o'clock. Oh yeah, so we pinged the phone and it said the last activity was at 4 in the morning.
Up here?
It's off of the Ponce Tower. So there's not any specific coordinate. Hey, could you not touch that bike with your hands, please?
Hey guys!
That's the husband. Because I've been wearing gloves. I've been trying not to. So.
Put it in here. Can you fit it in your car?
No, but I could try to. My car is with the back is filled with tag gear and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and the bike was found right there. See that little pink thing right in there? And you could see it on our initial body camera too when we found it right over there, right there by like that tree. So I didn't seem a little distraught. The guy's kind of going back and like, why didn't they check the recruit? I'm like, you know, we're trying to do the best. And this guy, I guess his name's George Davis. He showed up on his own. I guess Barry. Hey Barry, are you guys? Where are you guys headed? Okay. Here soon. I'm gonna probably have you come and talk with us more. All right. Thanks, man. Clothing.
And sir, when we go inside, let's just go directly to where something that she's worn today, and let's not touch anything just for in case.
Okay. Is this unlocked?
Yes.
Which way would that be? This way? No.
seen down there.
These are all heard right here?
Yeah.
Have you got a plastic bag?
Yeah.
Or a paper bag?
I'd say the sports bra is probably good. I mean, it's direct contact with the skin. No, we should just be fine with one. How do you turn on the exterior lights? Which light switch is it? All of them, Dale?
Yes, 2 on secure.
Thank you. Hey, Anthony. Can I speak to you over there once we get back? Yeah.
Right there.
So you realize what you grabbed, right? Those shorts? Yeah. Those are for mountain biking. Yeah. Like the padded shorts you would wear when you go mountain biking. Yeah. So that, I'm curious if you know.
Yeah, I saw that. But they were bike shorts.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah. So I got them, you know, she's bike and so they're all sweaty, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's good with that.
Oh, sidetracked though, when you took your...
Thanks to the docket for sending me all those body cam videos when I was just being too impatient to wait for Chaffee County to send them by snail mail DVD, which they eventually did to me. But now that you're caught up on all that backstory, let's talk about where we are today, Sunday, October 1st, 2023. This started on Reddit, it's been on Twitter. Barry Morphew's vehicle forensics just might be his downfall. According to the case report for the vehicle known as 2013 Ford F-350 Super Duty, which was Barry Morphew's truck, locations placed that truck at some point around 14 miles or less from where Suzanne Morphew was recently found. Now, the BURLA, as they call it, vehicle forensics reports, begins on page 17 of the 83 Defense Preliminary Hearing exhibit from the link below to the Colorado court files. On page 18, we can see a table of contents and the fact that Barry's truck locations will be found on the pages of page 4 in the report after the text messages and call log entries. So this is actually page 4 out of 624 huge pages of the huge BURLA report, and the exact date and times are not listed in the snippets we see, but hopefully, pray to God, Jesus, investigators have the date and time stamp of any of Barry's Crestone jaunts or trips. It is page 22 of the defense's PDF report. That's where we see a visit to Crestone, Colorado at this longitude and latitude. Now, if you place that longitude and latitude of Barry Morphew's BURLA truck location into Google Maps, you will get a different north and west location. And we can compare this distance to the exact locations where reporters have actually dropped pins near mile marker 103 off Colorado Highway 17, where CBI investigators have returned to the site near Moffett in their search for all things related to Suzanne Morphew. Denver 7 News was there, there, and according to Pet Cache Photog of KKTV, Suzanne Morphew's remains were found right there in a shallow grave a few miles south of Moffett, Colorado, on the northwest side of County Road R. Now, Pet Cache marked the exact spot before CBI came back on Friday to search further, and he said thank you to a few locals who pointed out the exact area to him. Now, those coordinates claim that Suzanne was found at the coordinates 37.96330 north, 105.90580 west. If you use other coordinates, it places Barry's truck about 14.2 miles away. If I use the approximate location where Suzanne was found per the KDRO crime scene tape video linked to below, that puts Barry's truck at one point even closer, 13.9 miles away from where Suzanne was found. Now, was this the singular location that kind of slipped through the cracks on the Burla report that could actually convict Barry? Would a jury of his peers think this is proof enough to put him in the area? If you watch the excellent report from 48 Hours titled The Suzanne Morphew Case, Nothing is What It Seems, I've linked to the whole full episode below. Many of us have read through the case files. We know that Barry put his phone in airplane mode, but he wasn't getting on a plane, but it was during critical times before Suzanne was reported missing, such as during a nearly 8-hour window from 2:47 p.m. until 10:17 p.m. on Saturday, May 9th, the day before Mother's Day. Now, even though Suzanne wasn't reported missing until Mother's Day 2020, many signs point to her losing her life on that Friday, May 9th, since her last proof of life actual photo was this image Suzanne sent to her boyfriend Jeff Liebler on May 9th in the afternoon. Now, did Barry sneak up on Suzanne once again, as he has done in the past, but this time explode in rage? I might put all the court transcript videos I've done in the past over on Patreon so you know what I mean. But investigators believe Barry turned his phone into airplane mode that May 9th, 2:47 p.m., so his movements couldn't be tracked. That's why investigators turned to this Burla report, the vehicle forensics, to see what they would say about Barry's Ford truck movement since they didn't have his phone movements. 48 Hours interviewed Ben Lemire. He's the CEO of Burla Corporation. He explained how the Burla reports have not only helped to find bodies, they've helped to convict or clear people of crimes all the time. Thank God for Burla in a 2013 truck. Everyone from the FBI to the Scotland Yard have used the Burla software to glean information from vehicles' computers. In Suzanne's case, the Burla report had already told authorities that Barry was lying to them when he said, he went to bed around 8 p.m., that May 9th night. But the data pulled from his truck showed that no, somebody put that truck in reverse and moved it about 96 feet closer to his house around 9:30 p.m., which investigators believe maybe Barry could have been loading Suzanne's body. Was he driving in his sleep? He claims they had steak, they made love, everything was gravy. Barry told police that he set his alarm for 4:30 a.m. on Mother's Day and left Suzanne just peacefully sleeping in the house around 5 a.m., even slightly snoring, breathing heavily. I wonder if they found any clothing. He claimed he went to this job site in Broomfield near Denver. It's about 150 miles away from Salida, but his truck's computers revealed that somebody was, opening and closing the truck's doors around 3:30 a.m. So who was doing that to Barry's truck? Cops think Barry began driving towards Broomfield much earlier than he claimed, and unfortunately, even in the Burla report, there's a 4-hour window from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. when no activity was recorded by the vehicle's computers. Is that because Barry had learned how to monkey around with his truck's computers? Did he learn how to somehow do a reset, as I've read somewhere but I couldn't find in all my hours of research for this video? Or like the CEO of Burla told 48 Hours, the log of activity sometimes just get overwritten. Log files, they only last so long, the CEO said. Well, I hope they have a bunch more data about Barry's Crestone visit in those 624 pages. Barry had lots of excuses for why he, took a left upon leaving his home that morning instead of a right. Even though it was dark, he said he saw some elk, and we know he loves hunting. He saw a herd of elk, he claimed, and he's a hunter, so he was interested. He wanted to get an up-close look at these elk. That put him, though, in a key area once again where Suzanne's helmet was found. So who took Suzanne's body down to Moffat and put her helmet up closer to her house? But now that we have this missing piece of the puzzle of where Suzanne's body was buried, and we put it in Google Maps, I'm wondering, did Barry make the more than 250-mile drive from his Puma Path house in Salida down to Colorado Highway 17 off of mile marker 103 to dispose of Suzanne's body and then make it back up to Broomfield? Now, that trip would have taken Barry about 4 hours and 45 minutes without traffic, according to Google Maps. Would that account for the bulk of the 4-hour gap in data? Some folks wonder if Suzanne's remains were moved by someone to a different location, and whoever initially buried her in that shallow grave, did they do so in a hurry and with haste, with plans to potentially move her later? Either way, Suzanne's remains were spread over a large area. They had the telltale signs of her dental records and her cancer chemo port. According to the Denver Post, Iris Eaton, Barry's lawyer, said at no time did the FBI, CBI, Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, or DA's office pinpoint or even generally claim that Barry was in any area south of his home, near Moffett, or anywhere near the Saguache County at any relevant time frame. And for days, these forensics teams have been gathering up the remains in the prairie, and the county coroner, Tom Perrine, estimated that Suzanne's remains were spread around 75 yards, probably by animals. According to KRDO, Saguache County is getting a reputation for being called the boneyard just because they found over the years so many bodies or bones. Now, that's a statement made by Karina Montoya. She's James Montoya's mother. She said you could spend a significant amount of time in an area and not be seen by anyone, not be noticed, and have time to do just that. James was a 26-year-old man whose body was found in the foothills west of Saguache Peak off County Road 46AA during another search for the 55-year-old Edna Quintana in July. So, 2 unrelated people have been found during the search for Edna, James and Suzanne. So, Barry's lawyer is trying to use this information to point to a serial offender. But CBI was quick to shut that down. CBI said there is no link between Suzanne and the investigation of Edna Quintana. I think Iris Eaton is grasping at straws. But tattered crime scene tape was definitely found near mile marker 103 on Highway 17 in Colorado. CBI investigators have been spotted placing orange flags as well as what appear to be yellow evidence markers throughout the area. Hope there were lots of them. Some of those flags were placed within about 50 yards of the county road that runs north through south through the field. The search area extended to within feet of the roadway, according to KRDO. So, did someone pull off in the middle of the night, use truck lights or a headlamp to try and see what he was doing? But no arrests have been made since the remains were located. John Speasy said, while this case has garnered attention from all around the world, it has touched our community and the sheriff's office deeply. We have never stopped our investigation and will continue to follow all leads in pursuit of justice for Suzanne. Indeed, I feel like it's coming. I pray. Melinda Mormon Balzer, now that's Suzanne's older sister, older by 15 years. We've heard a lot from her. She told the Denver Gazette that Chaffee County Sheriff John Speasy let her know Wednesday morning that Suzanne's remains had definitely been found. And Melinda said, "This is a miracle. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack." Indeed, Colorado is a vast and rugged place, and we have prayed that God would put light on where she is. We have been praying, and here we are today. It is a day of great sadness, but a day of celebration. This is just a small snippet, she said. A lot more will be revealed in time. Indeed, we will be patient and trust the process. Indeed. Melinda also said that Barry Morphew was the first person notified that his wife's remains had been positively identified because he was the next of kin. So Iris is going on about, oh, Barry's daughters didn't know. Well, Barry didn't tell them. Apparently, the remains were found in Colorado's 12th Judicial District, so DA Ann Kelly was notified of the discovery. Now, Barry's sources told The Sun it is a relief but also great sadness after Suzanne's remains were found. So they were found about 45 minutes drive south of Suzanne and Barry's home. Now, this source says, We now know she's not alive anymore, which we desperately been hoping for, they said, this nameless source related to Barry. But we hope that Barry's name can be cleared because of the location where she was found and the timing of it all. I wouldn't count on it. We are all in so much shock, said the source, who noted that they had not yet spoken to Barry after the remains were found, but they said hopefully answers will be forthcoming. Yeah, I hope so too. And we know Iris Eden has spoken out and she's been lashing out. She said Barry is with his daughters and they are all struggling with immense shock and grief after learning today that their mother and wife, whom they deeply love, was found deceased. They had faith that their wife and mom would walk back into their lives. That's like a dig at Suzanne to me. The news is heartbreaking, Iris wrote. Neither the DA nor the authorities notified Mallory and Macy Morphew about the recovery of their mom. From what we know, Barry is as innocent as he was from day one. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Proverbs 1:18. But when these people set a trap for others, they lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives and rush to their own destruction. So what's going to happen with this $15 million lawsuit? I think it was a dig towards Suzanne, a left-handed compliment of sorts, by saying, oh, Barry and Mallory and Macy wished their mom would just walk back into their lives. Again, putting the onus on Suzanne, shading her, making it seem like she's gone girl, like she ran off to Ecuador with married Jeff Liebler. You know, I wonder how that marriage is going. I hope they were able to hold it together. But again, putting the onus again on Suzanne, just like Iris did when there was that photo floating around of that woman who looks similar to Suzanne, but is obviously not Suzanne, just kind of shading her, saying Suzanne basically took off. Basically as if Suzanne would put her daughters and even Barry through this, or even when her dad was still alive, as if she would have put them through this and disappeared of her own volition on Mother's Day. That's why it's shade, even though Iris is coming up with these statements to make it sound like she's so offended. The only thing she stated was, oh, Mallory and Macy weren't informed. Wouldn't that be the first thing you do? As soon as Barry learned that Suzanne's remains were found, wouldn't it be the first thing you would do is inform your daughters if you're right there in town with them and have them come over, have them sit down, tell them your mom was found. Obviously, Barry neglected to do that if his daughters didn't know. But this $15 million lawsuit, that was just the icing on the cake. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back to me. Suing these great guys, I mean, people we've seen in other cases, Kevin Kopak, Johnny Grusing, and all these others. The nerve of him, but it's okay. Some people are hoping Barry will run out of money and the lawsuit will have to be dropped because he can't pay Iris anymore. Or will they drop the lawsuit themselves so Barry won't have to sit for depositions or give more data? We'll see what happens with that $15 million lawsuit. We keep all possibilities open, of course, like any great cop would do. We look at all avenues. Of course, maybe it wasn't Barry. These signs have been pointing to Barry's weirdness since that first week after Suzanne went missing. Charges were dropped, but now they have Suzanne's body as evidence. Just imagine all the DNA and clues and hints and evidence they could get off of her remains. And the Burla report, what else will it tell us? Do they have actual dates and timestamps that Barry was in Crestone 14 miles away from that location that Suzanne was found? Wouldn't that be ironic that the evidence provided by the defense to try and clear Barry could potentially end up convicting Barry? What else will they come up with? What else will they find? I think Barry has relied on way too much hubris, and we all know criminal defense attorneys have a job to do. Some are way more likable than others. I think at this point, as investigators and researchers and reporters and everyone who is doing a bang-up job with Suzanne's case, there's no need to worry about any lawsuits Barry Morphew lobs against you. And the fact that Barry clings to his Christianity, wearing it like a robe, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, I don't think it's gonna fly. God and Jesus know the truth. They know what happened to Suzanne. I know despite all her faults, and we all have them, she was a true believer in Jesus. And whoever actually harmed her and took her off this earth and sent her to heaven before she could even turn 50, God already knows. And I believe he is acting He is acting to reveal her perpetrator or perpetrators and get the person or persons responsible, get them in handcuffs, in jail, convicted, and in prison. Thank you so much for watching this 14 miles video. I think that distance, 14 miles, is going to end up being the central linchpin in this case. Let's stay tuned.